Black history they don't want you to know. Why historically Africans were viewed as a threat. If Africans are the oldest humans who possibly spread throughout the planet, then humanity can easily go back to its original African mold, even though this was a threat or thought of in psychology as the one drop rule, which pretty much stated that if anyone had one drop of African blood, then they have, quote, corrupted the non-African blood, and therefore could be considered black or Negro. It's clear that this idea was developed to identify African ancestry in whatever color it came in. This identification would then lead to oppressing that individual, keeping them in the same lowly state as other black people, so that they would not have to compete economically, socially, politically, and especially genetically. This idea of genetic annihilation was not present among all European ethnic groups. In Latin America, for example, the Spanish and the Portuguese seemed to have children with their enslaved African women, and even claimed that they were creating a new class and ethnicity. These individuals, for the most part, have privileges and access to the goods and services that society can offer. Another threat seems to come from the fact that the African continent holds so many resources, and that these resources ultimately translate into wealth. It's no secret that many modern-day nations want to control the resources coming out of Africa, and a lot of them did a pretty good job at it. This was certainly true in ancient and medieval times. Muslim writers spoke and referred to the Ghana Empire literally as the land of gold. Described the king of Ghana as the richest sovereign on earth at the time, for he possessed great wealth and reserves of gold that have been extracted since early times, to the advantage of former kings and his own. This speaks volumes as to how Africa was perceived. Everyone who knew about its wealth wanted a piece of it. By the way, according to research published by the American Psychological Association, people also have a tendency to perceive black men as larger and more threatening than similarly sized white men. So this history paints a very interesting picture of why Africans, and their descendants maybe, are viewed as a threat. The early narrative of Africans being the first humans, the limited yet present idea of genetic annihilation, and finally, the perceived advantage of immediate access to wealth and resources made Africans a threat to their neighbors at that time, consisted of the Arabs and Europeans, both of which took actions as soon as they could. Many believe that this is why there's so much pushback against Pan-African movements and economic powerhouses like Black Wall Street and others, because if people of African descent all across the globe can consolidate a unified identity, they can become owners again. Black history they don't want you to know.